What's up, friends, fellow investors, fellow entrepreneurs? It is Dave Payerchin with the Cream, and this is my daily recap. Today is May 8th at 9:32 p.m. I'm coming to you live. It's been one of those days, everybody. I'm going to recap today, talk about how I think I found $38,143. I'm going to talk about some questions that a student of ours had. I did a call with a student before 9 a.m. I got a text message. They had a couple questions. And if you catch me at the right time, everybody, I'm going to call you right on the spot. First off, kind of a personal day because we took my daughter, Lua. I have twin daughters. They were premature babies born at 27 weeks. We spent 5.5 months in the hospital, had some complications with one of our babies, Lua, her name is. And she has cerebral palsy. She had a brain bleed, which is essentially like a stroke for a baby. Very serious. She's lucky to be alive. That led to some brain damage. So we spend a lot of time at Children's Hospital. That's something personal about me. We were there today, and all went well. We had an MRI. If you've ever had an MRI, that's where they look into if you're getting an MRI on your knee. That's where they look for like a tear in your meniscus. If they do an MRI, in her case, it's her brain. So they literally strap this baby down. She's 8 months old. And, they strap her down and put her through the MRI machine. And then we look at her brain, and it's always a little bit scary simply because you never know what they're going to find when they're looking inside of your baby's brain, or anybody's brain for that matter. But everything went to be as to be expected. No new findings or anything like that. Nothing that we don't know about already. And we did that. So that took up the majority of my morning and early afternoon, but I got started pretty early. Today's an important day because all of our interest payments for our private lenders go out on the 6th. So we have our interest payments go out on the 6th because we collect our money from our property manager on the 4th. So we purposefully set up our interest payments to go out after we collect our money from our tenants. So I'm going to talk about our relationship to our property manager a little bit. I'll be up front with you. If we're being honest here, I don't think the channel is big enough yet that they're actually going to see this, but it has not been a good experience with this particular property management company, and we're finding a lot of errors and stuff like that. I want to tell you guys about that. That's what happened with me today, but started my day pretty early because I was making sure all of our payments went out for our lenders. It's really important. Now, one of the things that we are huge advocates of, we're seasoned pros at doing, is raising private money and utilizing private money for our real estate investing business. It's what we teach people how to do as well. I'll teach you how to do the stuff right here on our channel. Feel free to leave me any questions. Reach out to us. I reply to as many questions as I possibly can. And I'm here for you guys. It's my, really what I'm trying to do here is add as much value as I possibly can. So any questions you might have, by all means, please leave it. I'll reply to you. But we work with a lot of private lenders. We have a ton of more private loans than I care to admit. I mean, we have a lot of private loans right now, and a lot of these loans are 10 and 12%, which we're paying very high interest rate. We're in the middle of a big refinance right now to get rid of a lot of this private money, and then we can recycle that private money. We can use it on other projects and things like that. But we're still making a lot of payments to private lenders. Those go out on the 6th. And the 6th this month, in the month of May 2023, landed on a Saturday. So today's Monday, and I just needed to make sure those payments went out. So that's what I did all morning. Once that task was complete, I went to the hospital. As soon as I came back from the hospital, that's when I started to dig into the bank accounts even more. The first thing I did today was make sure the payments went out. Then I need to look at the balances to make sure that money's coming in. And what I'm looking at specifically is the amount that our property management company is depositing in our account. This sounds remedial. It sounds basic, right? But this is what we need to be doing as real estate investors. And I'm looking at some of these balances, and I'm looking at, and some of these accounts didn't even have any deposit whatsoever. Not very happy about that. And then I was looking at the previous month, and I see deposits have come in the previous month. Why no deposits this month? So I sent them an email. They're not being very responsive right now. I'm here to let everybody know, we're on our way out from this property management company. They're not responsive. Now I'm finding, so the deposits that I see are missing. What I did is I went through the property management software. They use the software Buildium for property management. And I looked at the amount that says on the statement that we're supposed to be collecting. And then and I tried to match it up with the bank account, and there was nothing in the bank account. So I found $38,143 exactly. There was some change too, but I remember that number. I knew I was going to be doing this video tonight, so I wanted to remember that number here for you. $38,143 of money listed on the statements, but not in the bank account. So needless to say, I wrote an email. Hopefully I hear from them quickly. And again, you see my demeanor, everybody. I'm just not happy with this property management company. We are looking for alternatives. And, that's what I did today, everybody. So I'm very interested. The payments all went out, but I'm missing $38,000. So I need that money, right? Made sure all my lenders were paid. And that is a good rule of thumb here, everybody. Always make sure your lenders get paid, even if you didn't get paid. Find a way to pay your lenders before you pay yourself, because your private lenders are the lifeblood of this business. And you got to pay the piper. So even if you got to tap into your own money, your operating money, your savings, your reserves, this is what you need to do. Pay your private lenders. So I did that today. That took up a lot of time. I got a call from one of our students, as I mentioned, and his name is Fernando. Fernando works at Amazon right now. He and his wife are looking to do this real estate thing, and he had some questions. And his basic question was, should I be going after a buy and hold deal? I know you're telling me I should get started with wholesaling. And just so everybody knows, I encourage anyone, if you're just getting started, I feel the best way to get started here is by wholesaling. Why? Because you learn the fundamentals and the mechanics of real estate investing without needing the risk. Where does risk come into play when you're a real estate investor? Well, there's only two ways risk you put yourself at risk. Number one is writing a big check of your own money, right? Giving a big deposit on something, and typically you're going to be put in situations where you might give big deposits when you're rehabbing a property, right? There's a lot of risk when it comes to rehabbing a property. Writing a big check puts you at risk. When you're wholesaling real estate, you're not going to be rehabbing the property, so you don't have to worry about writing a big check. And the second way you take on risk as a real estate investor is by taking title to the property or actually putting it in your name and buying the property. Again, when you're wholesaling, you don't have to take title to the property either. So therefore, when I am working with students, when they're first getting started, I like the play of wholesaling, because the last thing you need when you're first getting started is a big rehab project. Believe me, that's the last thing you need. Also, the last thing you need is a tenant in a property to manage, right? The first thing you need is a check. And if you can get a check, but not have to take on the risk, I think it kind of helps you build your reserves. It builds your confidence. And again, it teaches you those fundamentals of real estate investing. What are the fundamentals? Well, number one, finding off-market deals. Number two, running comparables and finding out what things are worth. And that also ties into like inspecting a property, understanding how much a rehab is and understanding how to price a property, understanding comparable sales and values. And then number three is negotiating with a seller and getting a contract signed. Because then it doesn't matter what type of real estate you're doing, you need to know these fundamentals. You need to know how to find deals. You need to know how to evaluate deals. And you need to know how to negotiate these deals and put them in contract and close the deal. So Fernando said, Dave, I know you're big on wholesaling for us. What about a buy and hold property? And I said, I'm not opposed to that, Fernando. Let's talk. So he told me he had $14,000 saved up. And since he's still working at Amazon, that's another thing I'm big on. If you got a W-2 job, see if you could get financing. Use that W-2 job to get loans for properties. And Fernando and I talked a little bit, and I said, Fernando, here's the number one thing, because let's not talk about what are we going to do with the property. Is it going to be buy and hold? Is it going to be fix and flip? Is it going to be wholesale? Whatever. The first thing we need for Fernando, because he's brand new, is leads. When he called me and he's asking me what the exit strategy is going to be, I'm like, cool, let's discuss that, and we can kind of toy around some information. And I put him in touch with the lender to actually get him pre-qualified for some buy and hold financing, which is cool. But Fernando, we're talking about how we're going to divvy up this pizza before we ever put the thing in the oven, before we pulled it out of the oven. We're talking about how the pizza tastes and who gets what slice and what we're going to do, whatever, before we've even made a pizza. We need to get leads coming in. This is where we're at, because we got to get these fundamentals under our belt, right? We've got to learn how to find deals, generate leads, evaluate these leads, evaluate deals, and then talk to motivated sellers and learn how to put these suckers in contract. Let's get the leads coming in before we try to figure out exactly what we're going for. However, I did tell them geographically, we can target areas where we can attract properties with multiple exit strategies. That's going to give you your best opportunity to be successful. It's that affordable housing market. With Fernando and with a lot of our students, especially if you're just first getting going, we're just doing single family houses and target zip codes. Gives us our best chance to win and just get our first couple deals under our belt. Something we're doing right now, is we are targeting commercial properties we're wholesaling commercial properties. We're working on it, generating some leads. When it comes, we got to walk before we run and run before we fly. And with Fernando, that's what we discussed is like, let's just get leads coming in. So we are launching some lead campaigns, doing some RVMs. And what I have him doing is cold calling. He's got data. He ran a skip trace on that data, and he is picking up the phone. I told him 100 calls a day, big boy. You got to pick up the phone. You got to do what nobody else wants to do. Everybody else just wants leads coming from the sky and deals coming from the sky and coming out of the woodwork. It does not work that way. If it worked that way, then everybody would be successful at everything, right? We've got to pick up the phone. We've got to get punched in the face. We've got to get hung up on. We got to get cursed out. And we got to get a lot of no's before we get to those yeses. So that's where I instructed Fernando to invest his time, because he has a small marketing budget. He's only got a couple $100 a month. So we got Fernando cold calling, and we are not too worried about the exit strategy. The first thing we need to do is just get some lead flow. And the last thing that Fernando asked me is like, what about finding an investor-friendly title company? And everybody, you hear this quite a bit with new people, like, what is an investor-friendly title company? It's such this cliche term, I feel, right? Investor-friendly. Well, what the hell do you mean, Fernando? And he doesn't even know. People who are asking for an investor-friendly title company are always brand new to the business. What does that mean? Every title company is investor-friendly because they just want your business. But a title company makes money by selling title insurance. So I think what people mean when they say investor friendly is a title company that is familiar with wholesaling and double closings, which is basically wholesaling where you're taking title for a brief amount of time and turning around and reselling the property. It's so funny. Next time you hear that, I want you to keep your ear to the ground and keep your ear in these real estate meetups. And I want you guys to go to every meetup. Join every real estate group, join every real estate Facebook group, and you're going to see that. In fact, if you're online, if you're in a Facebook group or something, and I didn't plan on having you do this, but do it. Go and type in the search bar, investor-friendly title company, and you're going to see everybody's asking for an investor-friendly title company, but they don't really know what they're asking. And really what they should be asking is just for a title company that is familiar with doing wholesaling and double closings. And I said, yes, Fernando, of course, I have a title company that's going to be able to assist with those. And also with Fernando, I told him, hey, I'm open to doing some JV deals with him as well. Just like I'm open to doing JV deals with anybody. On our board right now at the office, I think we have 8 deals going or 9 deals, and more than half of them are coming from JV opportunities, joint venture opportunities, where I will help you get your business off the ground, become a student with us. There is an investment to work with us, obviously, because if we worked with everybody, then a bunch of people who aren't serious about the business are going to take up all of our time, and they're going to take our time away from people like you who are serious. And, we'll teach you how to go out there and find the deals, bring us the deals. We can do them together and go 50-50. It's been a great thing for everybody. People are happy about it. If you can earn while you learn, so what? We're not married to one deal. I've never had one person yet complain on splitting a $20,000 check, 10K each, right? That's where we're going for with this thing. When we're first getting started, it's not about hitting home runs. It's about getting on the board. It's about getting a base hit, getting on base, I should say, right? And then we can work on getting that batting average up, and then we can work on swinging for the fences while keeping that batting average high. And then eventually we're working on going to the Hall of Fame. This is what we do. But let's get in the batter's box first. Let's generate leads, right? So everybody, May 8th, 2023, tomorrow is another day. I will be back on here tomorrow recapping my day. Really enjoying this. Right now, the channel has not picked up a ton of traction, but I know it will. It is my goal to provide excellent value, answer every single question that comes across. And we're real investors. Myself, my business partner, RJ Pepino, you might have seen him on TikTok, Instagram. He's a big influencer. And I'm working on it, everybody. And my goal right now is, to provide value and answer questions and really help you guys. If I could help you get a deal, that's just going to, make all of this worthwhile, right? It's going to encourage me to keep going. Because right now I've been on here live for 17 minutes and not one person has been on. But these things aren't going anywhere. We're going to look back and we're going to look at these videos one day and know that I was providing value from day one. That truly is my goal. And hopefully I can inspire some people to take some action. And I'd love the opportunity to work with you. And I'd love the opportunity to especially do business with you. So everybody, Dave P signing off. Tomorrow's another day. Time to get after it. Just know you can do this. You don't need a fancy degree to be a successful real estate investor. You don't need good credit. You need hustle. You need drive. You need to be willing to learn. And there's no better person to learn from than people who are doing the business right here today. Not people who are just good at talking about it, people who are actually doing it. We're happy to work with you on that because we are very much in the game. I will see you all tomorrow.